It's another edition of the Property First Show, your go-to show for real estate matters, brought to you by Bapsomo Communications. I'm Laile Oyatogun. We say a big thank you to all our viewers in and outside Nigeria. We promise to keep working tirelessly to ensure your housing needs are met. To all our social media followers on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, thanks for the love. If you're not yet a member of our social media community, then follow us at Property First Show. Thank you for all your inquiries via phone calls, text messages, and email. We urge you to keep them coming as we do our best to answer them all. Did you miss any of our previous episodes? Not to worry, search for Bapsomo Comms on YouTube. Subscribe, like, and comment. Have you got a property for sale, let, or lease you'd like us to feature on our program? Or are you into the business of interior decor, painting, roofing, bathroom products and equipment, cement and electronics? Or do you have a real estate event coming up that you'd like us to cover? Then call us on 09020232719. or 081-8653-3938. You can also send an email to propertyfirst@bapsomocommunications.com. It is generally agreed by industry experts that real estate investment is one of the most secure, profitable, and futuristic investments for any discerning investor. Later on the show, our expert for the week will be discussing real estate investment vis-a-vis the risks involved. But before then, we have our property showcase segment. It's that segment where we bring to you tastefully designed properties you can't resist. Enjoy it. Today on the show, we have for you two beautiful properties that are sure to make you grab your phones and call to have them reserved for you. Our first property offering for today is a 5-bedroom fully detached duplex located in a quiet neighborhood in Asapa, London area of Lekki, Lagos. On the ground floor of the building is a very spacious living room with a dining area and a wash and basin.
This is the sitting room. Yes, and this is a 3D wall. Very nice. Exactly. Exactly. Very nice. And you can see the switch. We have unique switch for each of the stuff that we have. Very nice. And this is the intercom. And you can see the walls, very nicely designed. This is the dining area. This is also a place you can wash your hands, like
after your meal, your breakfast, dinner, or lunch.
Exactly.
You just wash your hands
and check yourself.
Your face, you know.
Yes, very nice.
Okay, so moving on.
All right.
Visitor's toilet.
This is a visitor's toilet. Okay.
There's also a fully furnished kitchen with modern appliances like a 4-burner gas cooker with a combi heat extractor, a washing machine, a microwave oven, a marble top work table, a double wash hand basin, and a store.
The kitchen. First, I want to show you how cute the tabletop is. Okay. This is where you can do all your chops, your slice, and everything. Exactly. Yeah. Anything you can mention. And to think of that, it has a wardrobe, a cupboard. Okay. Yes, a very nice cupboard. You can put anything you want. That it has a double sink for anything you want to wash. Okay. And the gas is a 4-phase with an electric cooker on it. And this is exactly a microwave, your oven. Then this is a plus too. This is really, really nice. So, for seasoning, everything, really nice. And you can see the materials used in this house is really unique. And this is the store.
All right,
where you can store. Yes.
There's also a visitor's room, which is also en suite.
This is a visitor's room.
Oh,
yes. Visitor's room. Here's the wardrobe for the visitor's room. Okay. At least they are not left out. Okay. And here's the bathroom and toilet for the visitors. Okay. Yeah. The visitor's room also has a water heater. Okay. Yes. So. Yes.
Okay. The staircase takes you upstairs where you see the family lounge.
This is another exactly.
With its own balcony where you can get a good view of the neighborhood.
It has
balcony.
A balcony, yes. Very wonderful balcony. Yes, where you can rest. And from the balcony, you could even see people around.
Yeah.
Outside coming in.
You're kind of staying in the house and you want fresh air.
Fresh air.
And just sit down and be on your own. The balcony is a nice place to
Very
sit.
nice.
Adjacent to the family lounge is a very spacious master bedroom with its own balcony.
Let me take you to the master bedroom. Welcome to the master
Ooh,
bedroom.
this is huge.
With a very nice. And also the master bedroom has a balcony.
Oh, the private balcony.
Private
Okay.
balcony. And a very nice view as well. Okay.
A bathroom fitted with a bathtub and a shower.
Very nice one.
Okay, so this is the bathtub.
Yes.
You have the option of a bathtub or the shower.
Exactly.
Alright, fantastic.
A large wardrobe.
That's a very huge wardrobe. And when you can put your shoes
Okay,
and everything.
Not bad.
Very nice.
Okay.
3 other bedrooms are located close to each other and all open into the lounge.
Okay, down to the next room. This is another room. You have your shower and your toilet.
Okay. And you also have your wardrobe.
Your wardrobe,
So
exactly.
this can actually pass up to children's
Children's room, exactly.
depending on whatever room you want to turn it into.
One here and just put in one.
Okay.
Yes. This could also serve as children's room, and it has a shower and toilet with nice walls.
Water supply to this building has been provided with 2 boreholes, complemented with an underground water reservoir and water tanks.
For the water supply, we have constant water supply. We have 2 boreholes and we have a water reservoir.
Okay.
So in case anything.
Adequate security is in place with CCTV cameras, electric fence, and a general estate security system.
And for the security, we have CCTV 24/7. It's a watch, and the estate is secured.
Okay.
Other features include a remote controlled gate that can be controlled from the balcony upstairs.
You could actually control the gates standing from this angle.
Oh, that's
Yes,
nice.
that's a remote control whereby you want to come in. Someone
Okay,
can
so
actually,
you don't have to go downstairs.
You don't have to go downstairs
Okay, gate
to
man is
open.
not around.
Exactly.
Just stay in here and then control it. Come
Exactly.
open. Nice.
A driveway with ample parking space. Power supply is also constant.
The power supply is constant. We have constant power supply.
This property has a governor's consent as documentation.
It has governor's consent already.
The asking price for this property is 90 million naira.
Yes, the price is 90 million naira,
Asking.
and it's negotiable.
Fantastic.
Yes, the owner is open to negotiation.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Now let's move to further down the Lekki Epe Expressway.
We have an 800 square meter land in Alpha Beach containing the following: purpose-built 5-bedroom semi-detached duplex plus 2-bedroom penthouse, all rooms en suite with the following features: large living rooms upstairs and downstairs with wooden finishing floors, tiles in the living rooms, dining rooms and stairways right up to the first floor and master bedroom. Attached boys' quarters, very light bedrooms and a guardhouse. The asking price for this property is 60 million naira. We also have the carcass of a 3-bedroom semi-detached apartment with all rooms en suite. Asking
price for this property is 40 million naira. All documentation such as governor's consent and approved plan are available. Single buyers get an immediate 10% discount. So if you're interested, why don't you pick the phone up and call the number 09020232719 or call the number 081-86-533-938. We'll be right back.
You'll agree with me that those properties are really lovely. And I like the fact that the developers took time to ensure quality is not compromised. So start calling the numbers displayed to finalize sales.
Real Estate Digest brought to you by Nightstone Properties. Rainstorm destroys property worth millions of naira in Delta and Kwara states. Governor Udom Emmanuel resuscitates Mortgage Bank in Akwa Ibom State. Nigerian Institute of Architects discloses plans for an affordable housing project. Stakeholders urge federal government to focus on urban regeneration to facilitate affordable housing. Kebbi State Governor approves the release of 412 million naira as compensation to property owners affected by the ongoing township road constructions. Reps urge Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, to eliminate quacks in their profession. National housing projects excite artisans and traders in Kogi State. Real Estate Digest was brought to you by Nightstone Properties.
There's no doubt that building or buying a property is ultimately a good investment. However, real estate investment has its own fair share of risks, which should be taken into consideration when decisions are made. On our expert segment today, we have a seasoned professional who will be sharing with us insights into the opportunities that abound and the risks involved in real estate investments and how it can be avoided or minimized. Today, I have Mr. Ayo Akimade. Hello.
How are you?
Good to have you on the show. Now tell us, worldwide, we know that real estate investment is very lucrative. In fact, it's one of the most lucrative investments worldwide. Tell us about that.
Essentially, virtually anyone in life, from our parents, you name it, the first thing they tell you is get a house. Your home is your security. So worldwide, you find that most people would say one of the best investments you can have is your property. Now, first, your property that you live in, then properties for investment purposes. The British have a saying, safe as houses. So if you have a house, it can't disappear like a stock market investment or anything else. You can drive by and point to it. Most people would say that the property, house, home, a block of flats, a shop, however you define it, is an investment worth having.
So tell us, what does it really take to go into real estate investment? Do I have to have a lot of money to do it?
That's an interesting question. So I just defined a shop, a little cubicle in a space, a garage, a lock-up garage, to an estate in Banana Island, the range is extreme. So the first rule of thumb is do what you can, but don't stop. Don't say I won't do anything because I don't have any money. You know of that saying that no one ever built their house having all the money when they started. You do something and then you progress with the something. Get a piece of land, go and register for an allocation, and that will motivate you. So yes, the range is endless, but you must do something.
It is understood that risk is part of any investment, and real estate is no exception. How can these risks be minimized or averted?
In analyzing that, you have to identify what are the risks. So the first risk, if you can call it that, is, do I have the money? From my side, can I perform to what is required? So if it is that you have the funds, that's fine. If it is that you have to go and find the funds, you must make sure that you have the money so that you don't engage someone and halfway through there's a risk of not completing the project. The second is that when you then give your money to a builder, the risk that the person actually delivers what you want is very real. Most people will take some kind of performance bond, a guarantee, which is a document you take from the builder to say that I've asked you to do this building like this, and if you do not deliver it, somebody will pay me a kind of insurance on it to make sure that the item is delivered or the building is delivered to the specification that I want. You then have the building standing. There's a different kind of risk. Fire, flood, all sorts. So beyond even the, how shall we say, production stage or construction stage of the building, you have the building is actually now standing. What are the risks to your investment? You need to take insurance. You need to take insurance for fire, for theft, for content, to make sure that having invested all that money, you don't end up 5 years down the line without an investment and no recourse to anyone.
From time to time, we see people who get money, develop a property, get a little change again, develop another one. Is that how this business runs, or is there a body that governs the activities of people in this business?
There isn't really a body in the sense of a body that will govern the investment. Of course, there are various bodies that govern the structure. So, for example, to build the unit itself, you have to go to government, get application, get a permit to build to a particular standard. Architects have a body of architects and a standard around them, surveyors and the likes. But from the perspective of the investor, there isn't really, you choose what you want and you go and do it. There's no real structure. You just take it and you invest in something because someone brought it to you, because it is nice, because your friend invested in it. And that's the risk that you might get it right, or the risk that you might spectacularly get it wrong.
So sir, I've heard that real estate investment is very juicy. So let us in on some of that juice.
There is no investment that isn't juicy, but the key with real estate is that it is substantial in size. Typically, the building itself will cost a lot more than maybe you could buy shares or stocks or things like that. But you would expect, as a standard rule of thumb, that you should be able to earn between 5 to 10% of your initial investment yearly on an investment in real estate. Most people in buying real estate would look at it in terms of how many years will it take me to get a return on my investment. And typically you'll be looking at 10 years. 10 to 12 years as the typical return period. It's juicy, you would say, but it is long enduring. So you could possibly have your grandfather leave a property that you all are still getting rentals on, pretty much great grandchildren and the likes, compared to let's say you buy a piece of stock. A piece of stock, of course, can also last that time, but most times buildings by their nature are more long lasting, and therefore the returns over the period is significant. If you take a typical building, let's say 50 years of returns on it, it's quite decent.
Quite enlightening. This brings me to the physical risks with properties, for instance, the aging of a building, which may lead to non-functional facilities. How can investors manage these issues?
Everything is from the beginning. Like they say in a house, the foundation. They even, our mothers would say the foundation is education, in terms of making sure that initially the plan for the building is right. The structure to put the building on is right, so your foundation. Because you have issues where, for example, after the building is up, you have what's called subsidence. So the building may tilt, may slide. After a few years, you might see cracks appearing on the building. Those are issues to do with the very foundation and how the building was put up, which should have been addressed by you getting a professional who understands the terrain. Understanding the terrain is also relative. Understanding the terrain, for example, in Lekki Phase 1 is different from in Banana Island, and is different from in Ikeja, because the soil characteristics in the different locations are different. So in some places you might put a standard raft, in other places you might have to have a bigger structure.
On a final note, what message do you have for our audience as regards real estate investment?
I talk to a lot of young people, and the first thing I say to them is, whatever you do, try and have an investment in a property. Now, that doesn't necessarily have to be a house in Ikoyi, because we don't all have those resources. It could be a piece of land very close to Badagry. It doesn't matter where, but you must start, and you must start with something. 10 years later, when you come back, you'll be shocked at what people will offer you for that piece of land. That's an advice that I've always followed. Every time you have a little bit of money, find somewhere and just put the money down there. Forget that you did it and walk away. You'll be shocked 5, 7, 10 years after what that little bit of investment can be worth.
Wow, I have learned so much on the show, and I'm sure our viewers have learned a lot too. Thank you so much for sharing your wealth of experience and knowledge.
No problem.
And I hope that I, start buying properties not just in choice areas, but also, anywhere else.
You already have. We hear the rumors, but anyhow, make sure you do something. Don't say, "Oh, I don't have the money to buy this piece of land in Ikeja or VI." Wherever your money can fetch you something, go and buy it. I did say that I had an aunt, in fact it's my friend's aunt, called us in her 20s. We just left university, and she said, I can give you money, but rather I'll give you this advice. And the advice is, every year, she says, every year around November, December, find all the money that you have saved. Go until you find somewhere where that money will buy you a piece of land. Start from where you are, keep going until you find a point where that money will buy you a piece of land, and buy it. Don't worry about, oh, it's not where I would live or whatever. Just take the land and secure it. The risks, of course, around that, you don't want to buy land and then it's sold after. So do your research. Make sure you understand the communities where you can do that with. And government itself sells land at structured prices, and you're sure of what you're going to get. Whatever you do, take some money and buy land, buy property, buy a store, buy a shop, buy a garage, but do something. That's my final advice to you.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing your wealth of experience and knowledge. I'm thinking of buying properties in places that I have refused, Thank you so much. And we hope that you have us again on the show.
No worries. I'm passionate about real estate, so anytime, call me, I'll be here.
All right, so have a great day.
Thank you.
It's been a really packed show today. Thank you for enjoying every second. For advert placements and inquiries, call the number 09020232719 or 081-8653-3938. Let the conversation continue at Property First Show. So we come your way next week with another episode of your weekly guide in the real estate market. Remember, with Property First, you're covered. I'm Lyali Oyatogun. Bye-bye.